Hi y'all, Kraken Latte here. Welcome to a new mini-series where I cover my results from leveling through each zone in World of Warcraft. This data is being collected in order to make my new leveling guides. As you can imagine, going through each zone in WoW, sometimes even twice due to faction differences, is going to take a while. So, in the meantime, I'll share my findings with you. Since the process of leveling was changed in 9.0, including the introduction of Chromie Time and the removal of heirloom buffs, zones give different results than before, and that's why I'm redoing them all. Before we dive into the data, let's go over some ground rules that I'm working with, that way you know why my results are what they are. Yours will be different if you do otherwise. I'll just go over these ground rules in this first episode, that way you don't have to hear them repeatedly. Here's the ground rules. No XP buffs except War Mode. The Horde buff is always 10%, and so far, Alliance has been 15. If Alliance goes above 15, I will not use it. No XP from herbs or any professions at all. I'm using a full set of heirlooms with varied levels of rested XP. This doesn't really affect much anymore anyways, so no worries there. I'm doing this all solo, so no carries or friends. If I do quest with a friend, I'll tell you. I'm focused mainly on quest results, and I'm doing the entire zone even if it's slow. I make notes on parts of zones that may be good for the future guide, but that's for me to know and you to find out later. I'm also not focused on XP from rares or treasures. And if a zone has bonus objectives, I do them with the quests. I'm also using the add-ons Auto Turn-In and Cinematic Canceller to speed up the questing process. Sticking to these rules as a basis, make sure my results are all on an even playing field. As a note, zones I felt have promise, I've done more than once to test the different brackets. I don't do all brackets for all zones because it's just not practical. And speaking of brackets, here's what you need to know about those. Based on how I've seen XP pan out across the entire 1 to 50 stretch, I've broken it into these brackets: 1 to 10, 10 to 30, 30 to 40, and 40 to 50. And sometimes I break up that last one into 3 parts of 40 to 45, 45 to 48, and 48 to 50, depending on what I'm doing, because there is a massive depreciation in that 10 level range. On the note of XP and depreciation, there's one more thing you need to know about. Since I do not do every zone in every single bracket, my results for a zone in the 10 to 30 range will be totally different if you try that zone at 30 or 40. So, using Azshara in Legion as an example, since it's a very consistent zone, here's what all the brackets in the same zone would look like: 10 to 21, 30 to 38, 40 to 45, and 45 to 50. Those are the results of doing the same quests, which is all of them, in Azshara. All on Horde characters too, I might add, so the War Mode percent is the same. See how it depreciates with the higher brackets? This depreciation is fairly consistent, so using this example, you can guesstimate results of different brackets. There, that's all the ground rules I think you need to know. I know it's a bit boring, but it's necessary if you want to understand my results and why they might differ from yours. Alright, moving forward, reading the data I'm about to show you is simple. I'll tell you the levels gained by range, the total time it took to complete the zone in minutes, the name of the zone of course, and the faction I did it on. Oh, and as a reminder, you can't turn on War Mode until level 20. Alright, so let's start with Kalimdor, and we'll look at some Alliance-specific zones, specifically starter zones. So, first we got Teldrassil, the Night Elf starting zone, which will give you a total of 1 to 12 in 61 minutes. Shadow Glen, the Night Elf starter little area by itself, is 1 to 6 in 11, and then the rest of Teldrassil is 6 to 12 in 50 minutes. This area is quite nice to quest in, at least before it caught on fire. Moving on, we got Azuremyst Isle. This is the Draenei starting zone, which will give you a total of 1 to 13 in 90 minutes. Ashenvale by itself, which is the little starter area, is 1 to 6 in 18, and then the rest of the isle is 6 to 13 in 72 minutes. Now we have Bloodmist Isle. This zone I got 13 to 23, 10 levels, in 164 minutes. This was a very long zone because there are a lot of RNG fetch type quests, so this one will vary greatly if you do it, even in this range, time-wise at least. The levels will be the same. Now we have Darkshore, another Alliance-only zone. I got 10 to 24, 14 levels in 135 minutes. It's a long zone. Still in Kalimdor, but moving over to some Horde-specific zones, we have Durotar. Zug zug, am I right? This will give you 1 to 13 in about 91 minutes, and that's about the same whether you're a troll or an orc doing the Valley of Trials or Echo Isle starters. Both of those give you 1 to 6 in 20-ish minutes or so, depending on how quick you are. Shifting over a little bit, still in Kalimdor, we have Mulgore, the Tauren starting zone, which will give you a total of 1 to 12 in 54 minutes. This is basically Tauren only. You can do half of the zone if you're not a Tauren, but you can't complete it, so it's a little funny. It's basically Tauren zone. It's Tauren only. So if you do Camp Narache by itself, you'll get 1 to 5 in 12 minutes. And then if you go and do the rest of the zone as a Tauren and actually complete it, you'll get to level 12 in 54 minutes. Now we've got Azshara, another Horde-only zone, which I got 10 to 24 in 155 minutes. This is a very long zone, and another one with a bunch of spread out RNG fetchy quests, so kind of like Bloodmist Isle for the Alliance. It's long and kind of doesn't feel like there's a lot going on here. Another Horde-only zone is Northern Barrens. For this one, I went from 14 to 26 in 147 minutes. This is one of those zones that there's a lot here, but it's very spread out. So, in the lower levels, it's going to be really slow, but you know, if you're 40 plus, it'll be really fast. But you'll get a lot less, so, you know, that's your call. Now we're stepping out of the Alliance and Horde-specific zones on Kalimdor and moving to contested territory, which means both Alliance and Horde can do them, and in this case, there is 2 different faction-specific quest lines. So these are zones I've had to do twice, because you'll get different results. So, starting with Ashenvale on Alliance, I went from 24 to 35 in 178 minutes. That's quite a trek. For a Horde, I went from 26 to 34 in 195 minutes. The Horde has a lot of escort quests on this side, so that's why there's a bit of a time difference. Another contested zone, we've got Stonetalon Mountains. For Alliance, I went from 35 to 40 in 105 minutes. On Horde, I went from 35 to 39 in 75 minutes. There's a little bit less quests for the Horde, but boy are they a lot faster. This is not a great zone for Alliance. Alright, I know we didn't get very far, but I think that's enough for one video since I've already probably bored you to death with all of the ground rules at the start. The next few videos will probably have a lot more zones, and I'm going to try to keep these organized by continent, both to keep myself more organized so I'm less sporadic about this, and to help let you see things in a organized, categorized fashion.